Good morning, welcome to Friday's live trading. Okay, it's non-farm payrolls today, so we'll see how we run. Just set this up on my other computer, so as ever, it's a little bit more complex because I'm going to be talking to our guys in our trading room at the same time in certain periods, so please bear with me. For now, just waiting. It's only 7:28, so just waiting to see how things are setting themselves out this morning. I'm almost looking. So there's a chance that we could be breaking down on the euro. I'm just looking at the hourly point of view here. It's consolidated. It's looking a tad weak, but we've just taken a bounce off that trend line I've drawn on here. We've got an untouched daily pivot on top, which I always like to see hit. So there's a possibility we could be running up at some point towards that as well. So it's really a decision time around it. It's sort of a pivotal time in the earlier part of the morning, and I'll see if we can do anything with this. Okay, for now, I'm just going to put you on pause. Okay, moving on, it's around about 7:50 at this moment, and we've seen a bit of a break of this trend line. I'm always wary of a break of a trend line before sort of 8 o'clock. Often they just sort of they force breakout. Sometimes they'll work, but more frequently you'll see these moves, and they tend to fail. So my feelings here, or what I'm seeing, is really potentially a fail there. We've tested the prior low collar, or the shoulders, if you like, of the previous candles there. Now we've bounced off those. We've moved back, or moving back to within that trend line. There is some positive momentum on the bigger time frames, and well, there's the possibility of a break towards that daily pivot. The probability is always good on daily pivots, so it's one thing I'm looking for in my trading in the mornings, is where price's relation to it. However, of course, we have had a sort of a big sell-off yesterday, but has it really put us anywhere worse than where we previously was in terms of news, etc.? And the chances are it could just come back into the previous day's range. So I am watching, I say previous day's range, I'm talking about the range on Wednesday. So there is a chance we could come back within that range at some point. It so often happens, you get the news, it's a bit of a shock. It wasn't quite what people expected, but at the end of the day, not a lot else has changed, and you get back into, as I say, previous trend. Which your previous trend, when you look at this chart here, was pretty much chopping sideward, so we could move back into that sort of level. We've already tested those prior lows over here almost straight away yesterday. It broke through, came back and tested, so it's tested those prior lows. So any move towards that daily pivot may actually allow us to run through. Now, one thing we haven't, of course, tested is the hourly 21, which is this dashed moving average coming across here. So that's the next sort of bone of contention for the upside. If after 8 o'clock we start breaking it down again, and it looks like we're going to break down, well, I may just join in and see if we can take a run to the downside. But for now, I'm going back on hold. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small long position on cable. I'm buying it now, so I'm just buying into cable now. Now it's aggressive in terms of what I've got. I've got a signal that's come through. My little buy sign now. As I say, this is quite aggressive, but we've got the 8 o'clock pivot above us and the daily pivot above us, so it's just a little bit overbought. We need around about a 15 pip stop on from where we are, just to safeguard us at the moment. So SPY has confirmed that I just bought the pound dollar. I'll mark it up on the chart here where we've bought, just so we've got a sign of where we are. It's just around about this level. Now I may take a part position out at the pivot, but I'm really looking to see if we can push on through here, because we have got the daily pivot above us. So it's a bit of an aggressive buy. So as I said, it's a small position, but what's happening in the meantime, and it may actually be triggering other trades I was looking at, we're pretty close to triggering a euro long position. Let me just check something there. We've been through the 8 o'clock pivot, so there's a possibility we could be pushing, sorry, just running through a number of charts at the same time here, could be pushing up some more. it's quite aggressive, as I said, on the pound because of the trend line there, but and breaking yesterday into the lows of the morning and breaking a trend line that I was originally looking at and potentially shorting. Now it's just testing the lows here at the moment. Quite aggressive, but it's just looking at what else is going on in these markets. And as I said, we've got the 8 o'clock pivot, we've got the daily pivot above us. It's just a chance that this could move towards those levels. So just wait and see how things pan out here. So welcome back to the video. Okay, we're looking at what's happened here. We had a bit of a sell-off shortly after we got into cable. It's certainly the weakest pair this morning I managed to pick, although it still has good probability of the daily pivot being hit. But at the moment, it's looking more like it. I'm just going to leave it and go. The entry point is back here at 155. The euro absolutely flew. Some of the guys in the trading rooms this morning have got into the euro, which is nice. They're running that at the moment, so that's pushed up. In fact, let me just show you a flick through the euro. The euro was quite nice. It did a little break, pulled back, and then rallied off. And at the moment, the euro's stalling a little bit. It's running to its 4-hourly R3 pivot. It just tends to stall things somewhat. Daily pivot's not too far away now. It's only 14 pips away, really, the daily R1, which would be quite a nice target for that. But it's broken. It's already broken into yesterday's hump and past yesterday's highs here. So it might, as I say, slow down a little bit. If anything, like the price action we've seen this week is anything to go by. As I say, cable, it is really struggling. It overran the lows there somewhat. It's pushing back down towards them again at the moment. It certainly seems to be the weakest now. Arguably, it is the weakest in trend this morning with the lower highs, etc., running here, and there is still potential for it to come down and touch yesterday's lows. But with the daily pivot untouched and what I was seeing on all of the rest of the markets there, I thought, well, it's a nice target to see if we can push for that daily pivot. But as I say, maybe a bit hopeful at the moment. Anyway, I've got to pack for a holiday, so I'm going to leave this and come back in a short while. Back on. Okay, we've come through the 8 o'clock pivot. We're just running up towards. I'm going to start taking some profit off this position. I was looking for the R1 4-hourly R1 sort of target area, which was these prior highs here, before we looking then to run the rest into the daily pivot. I'm up around about 15 pips at this point, and I'm going to take half of my position off in just a moment if I can. So I'm just waiting to take half the position off, so tickets are going to be ready on my machines accordingly. Just waiting for it to flick up there. Bit like watching a kettle, it never boils. Okay, one thing, if it hits this area, also stop-wise, we notice we've got the slightly higher low that's confirmed here on this 5-minute candle. At the moment, my stop is down way down here, because giving it plenty of leeway to run up towards the daily pivot and give it some movement this morning, because it needed it. Basically, it stalled a little bit. It came off lower than my entry, of course, overran a little bit, and it's just worth waiting. Give it some wiggle room in these mornings. It's weird. As much as you expect something to happen, it often just, as the market's quiet, drifts a little bit more against you sometimes. So I've been allowing slightly bigger stops and position sizing accordingly, particularly when you've got a bit of risk, as we got going on here. Now it's slowed up as I started the recording again, of course, but I'm just looking to see if it goes. I may just even set a little target and walk away from the screen and see what happens with that, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here all day by the looks of it. It's so slow. So I'll just put a target in to take part out at 55.18 or 17, somewhere in that region. Okay, so just got back to my desk. I'm actually taking half off at this point here now. I've just, it's actually 17 points. First half at 17 points. I've moved the stop up now to break even. So whatever happens, the other half cannot lose any money. With the final target, I've actually set a final target level. Now this may happen before I finish the recording, or it may not, but I've set the target at 50, take profit 55.37. So it's some way below the actual daily pivot. It happens, it's into this midi up here. Can't lose any money on this position now, so all is good. Didn't run as well as I'd liked it to have done this morning, but that's just how the markets run through these summer periods. Now we've got non-farm payrolls coming out this afternoon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the recording at this level, at this point, and you'll obviously see what's happening. Or actually, yeah, I'm going to stop and see if I'll just finish it, hopefully, before I go. But for now, just stopping the recording. Right, so since taking the first part of the trade out, it's the market pushed up towards target areas, stops at break even, so it really doesn't matter. The big question is, will I meet the second half? Well, we'll see. We've got non-farm payrolls at 1:30. It's 11:25 as I'm recording the end of this video. It's not looking too promising at the moment, but the cable's just run back into the 5200 zone. It's on the shorter time frames here. It's put a bit of an ugly candle in on the hourly, so maybe it will roll over and stop me. We'll see. But there are other levels of support around this area, which may just see price hold on at 11.25. I can also see the midday pivot's going to be about where price is at the moment. So hopefully, may just hang in there on this position. And my target, as I said, is a little bit short of the daily pivot itself there for the remaining half, but let's see if I can get a bit of bonus for the holiday. Right, I'm going to switch everything off now, including my computer, everything, and load this up onto the site, and I'm going to be off on holiday. So I wish you a great couple of weeks because I'm going to be away. Charlie will be back next week, and back to business as usual, hopefully. Bye for now. Take care.